This is a good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time.
Hey, what's up guys? Sean here. Today Sarah and I have brought Mattie out to Paynes, Prairie to hike, and I thought it would be a good time for us to talk to you about hiking with a dog. Let's get it. Okay, so I'd say maybe one of the first things we should talk about, picking up after your dog. You know, as they say, it happens, but when it does on the trail, you should always pick it up. Don't leave it. It's nasty. Somebody else might step in. You know better than that. Yeah, it's as simple as just making sure you bring your doggy bags with you. Bring the doggy bags, scoop it up, throw it away, get it off the trail. Now we've got Mattie today. We don't have Skipper with us, and that's for good reason. Skipper's an old man. He just can't handle this hiking anymore. But that brings us to another point: knowing your dog, knowing their fitness level. You know, dogs, just like people, don't have the same fitness levels. You don't want to take an old fat dog like me and expect to take him out on a 5 or 6 mile hike. That's not going to work. But you can slowly build your dog up to those types of levels of, you know, hiking and things like that. It's all fitness level, just like you would a person. Now, something else you should take into consideration when you're taking your dog out hiking like this, you want to make sure that the trails you're taking your dog on are trails that you're allowed to take your dog on. Now, out here at Paynes Prairie, what we found out today was there's only one trail that you're not allowed to take your dog on. And they said that trail is the trail that most of the animals there would want to use her for a nice little snack, so we're going to avoid that area. You know, that brings up a good point. You need to know the hazards in your area. It doesn't have to just be wild animals. You know, you need to be able to pay attention for prickly pears, thorns, you know, sand spurs, those kind of things. It can make your hiking trip miserable for your dog. Also, something that a lot of people don't really pay attention to: salt water. Salt water is very dangerous for your animals. So those are a couple of things that you kind of want to keep in mind while you're on the trail too. You know, just like you and I, dogs get thirsty too, so you have to always make sure you keep that in mind when you're going out on a hike. It's not just you out there, so you have to pack accordingly for your animals. Now, we keep, you know, our doggy bags to pick up her poop and stuff, but we also make sure we bring her little collapsible bowl with her water and everything. And don't just bring a bottle of water for you and think that you're going to just give them a little bit of your water. Make sure you bring enough water for them, because they drink a lot more than you think. Another thing to keep in mind is you know, temperature, terrain. If your animal's not good in cold temperatures, keep that in mind. You know, make the proper necessary precautions. You know, if you got to bring them a sweater, or maybe you just don't take them when it's cold. Mattie, you know, with her being long-haired, in the summer, unless she gets the puppy cut, I think they call it, when she's kind of shaved down, you know, with less fur, she will overheat real quick in the summer. No, ma'am. So, see, that brings us to another good point. Trail etiquette as far as other animals and people. Don't be a jerk. If you're hiking with your dog and there's other people on the trail, just make sure your dog's not bothering other people on the trail. You want to be able to enjoy the trail, the dog enjoy the trail, and everyone else be able to enjoy the trail also. Yeah, that's not a white blaze, that's a fence post. Those nice people said it was okay for us to video them walking their dog. And how can you beat having a couple of corgis in the video anyway, right? Mattie, don't do that. And that's another thing, you know, just kind of keeping an eye and knowing the habitat of other animals. So right up under these palmetto bushes here is prime territory for rattlesnakes. Just pay attention, make sure they're not nosing around in something that's going to get them hurt.
Well, they got something across the trail up there, but I don't know if something goes that way.
It's awful muddy through here. I wouldn't mind it so much if it wasn't for Mattie having to go through here too. What do you think, Mattie?
Don't drink the nasty water.
Muddy, muddy through here. I think we might end up with our feet wet. We are kind of in questionable territory now. We cross that bridge back there, and they've got a spot in the trail where the trail, it's closed, but then the trail also bypasses right there. But unlike most trails, the thing says that it's blazed, but I haven't seen the first blaze yet, so it's gonna be kind of hard to get too lost out here, but kind of hate to have to turn around and backtrack if we don't have to. But we're gonna see what we can find.
Trail. It appears to be. Oh, look, it says right there. What? Jackson Gap Trail.
Okay,
Mr. Google Pants.
We're still good. Look at that. Look at that Widowmaker for you. Let's get past here before the wind blows again. Wow, look at it all the way up, resting way up there.
Ugh, got caught.
So obviously this is by no means an exhaustive list. This is just a few things to think about when you're taking your dog hiking. If you have other things that you always keep in mind or that you try to do when you take your dog with you, throw them in the comments below. It's a good thing I don't have my axe with me. That's a nice little chunk of fat lighter in there. Boy, this is a pretty little area to hike in right here. This little pine forest. All these pine needles on the ground. Turns out really, really neat. Kind of, I don't know, it kind of looks like something out of a fairy tale or something. Does that make me sound weird? Mattie, are you on a bench?
Taking a break? Taking a break.
So, I'd like to take this time to say, if you aren't already a subscriber, what the heck are you doing with your life? It's literally just a matter of hitting the little button right there. Hit that button, you're subscribed. Do it. Do it now. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Oh yeah, I got wet socks. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to camp in this area. Man, there is firewood in here for days. Wouldn't take no time to gather up enough firewood for the night in here. That little swamp area right there reminds me of the time that Mattie almost got caught by that moccasin when we were hiking over off of Noonan's Lake. I'll throw a card up there, up top for you to watch that video if you want to, and I'll try to link a little clip right here. Whoop. Holy shit. Yep. Go around that way. Good call.
What is that?
That's a moccasin.
Damn.
It's kind of crazy now. We're definitely getting our feet wet.
Dixie?
Homemade wanderlust. We know what we feel you. We're hiking through the water ourselves. No sense in trying to avoid it now. Feet are already wet, right? Mattie dog is glad she's being carried right this second. Okay, due to the flooded out trails like that, we have opted to hop on this service road and hike back through there. There's no sense in having to carry Mattie through here. Yeah, it was definitely flooded out. What do you think, Mattie? Where'd them horses go? So, something that Sarah and I always run into, and it's a tough thing to deal with sometimes. Is she okay?
Yeah, she just got. I'm stuck to her.
Oh, okay. Some of the things that Sarah and I deal with sometimes, or a lot of times actually, and that's something that you could keep in mind too when you're taking the dog out for a hike, is kind of have options and be ready to make some changes, because it never fails. Sarah and I will make all these plans, and you go online and you do your due diligence to try to make sure that everything is on the up and up. You're allowed to bring the dog, everything's open, and then you drive 2 hours, you get there and the place is closed down. And you know, you've done everything you can to kind of assure that you're doing the right thing, you know, and they don't keep these things updated enough. So just always try to make sure you either have a plan B or it's not the end of the world. The good old Florida swamp for you right there. You know, along the lines of just knowing your pet and their, you know, health, pay attention to the warning signs. If they're sitting down a lot, if they're lagging behind, all those kind of things. Look for small things such as even something as simple as just a slight limp. All those things. Just kind of pay attention to that stuff. The dog's trying to tell you something. Can't tell what it is, but there's something moving over there in the bushes. Oh. No, you guys can't see that. You see it, Sarah, right there? At the bottom of that log that's going across like that?
What is it? I can't see.
It's a little armadillo. I believe it was an armadillo.
Oh, it sounds bigger than a squirrel.
Yeah. No, there it is right there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
Oh, I see him.
Ain't that just my luck? We finally see an animal. It's got to be an armadillo. I know that's not exactly our kind of camping, but keep that in mind. We might have some cool stuff coming up. So we just hit 3 miles, and Mattie's kind of running out of steam, so Sarah opted to carry her for a little ways and let her rest. But she wasn't really like getting too tired, but you could tell she was starting to slow down and needing a rest. And we're almost here at the car anyway, so Sarah figured it'd be best to just kind of tote her along for a little ways. Mattie, I think you're just milking it now. Are you liking your ride? Well guys, I appreciate you watching this video. I hope you learned something. I hope I helped you. These are just a few little things that we think about when we're taking Mattie out. And if you followed along this far, do like I asked you earlier, and hit that like button. Hit the little subscribe button down here for me if you haven't already. And like I said, leave me some things that you always try to remember in the comments down there. So appreciate you guys watching this video. I'll see you next time.